Namaskaram, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. So, I am Krishna and I look after the community and environment. Very warm welcome to all of you. Let's start with the session. Before we move ahead, I would like to introduce all our guests. Mr. Naveen Manasri. He's a passionate soul who leverages generative AI to build a decentralized and intelligent metaverse with the help of blockchain. He's a techie who has turned into an entrepreneur. His contributions in the AI industry includes he has built 12 plus enterprise AI products and solutions across industries, across nations. That's huge. He has also built deep learning based intelligent OR for OCR for resumes, invoices, and other documents. Solutions for retail, supply chain, healthcare, media, and even ITSM. It is a pleasure to have you on board, sir, and we look forward to having a great session with you. We have Mr. Pankaj Rao. He is the Chief Executive Officer at Agilent and a thought leader who is changing the way we learn and develop through his visionary idea of bringing an impact at the grassroots level.
Awesome.
He is a mechatronics engineer from London South Bank University, and he is also a hardware architect and engineer at IMEKR, where he developed one of the world's most advanced 3D scanning systems. He has been featured in The Guardian, Yahoo News, The Register, and many other publications. Thank you,
Awesome.
Pankaj, for agreeing to attend this session. We look forward to a great conversation ahead. So
Thank you so
we'll
much,
get
Krishna.
started.
Hello, guys. Namaskaram.
So we'll start today's session without any delay. I would first head towards Naveen ji. And to begin with, I would like to know what is in your view, what is the stage of the tech industry, the industry 4.0 at the moment? When we started a decade ago, it was more about ML or data analytics, but now in the last 5 years, we have seen a huge transition in terms of the new age technologies that have been coming in, be it AI, AR, VR, or even blockchain. So, what is your take on it?
Currently, technology-wise, we are growing very fast. I think for last 4 or 5 years, we have seen a growth in technology development, especially in a 3D content generation in terms of creating the AR/VR experience and all. We have moved far away in last 4 years. In terms of adoption in businesses, I think it was not that much, taken seriously in the market. People are trying for experiment. People are trying to explore it. Adoption wise, we can be much better in businesses. But technology wise, I think in 4 5 years we have grown a lot. Thanks to the community of AR, VR, 3D, and AI and cloud computing. Everyone work very hard in these directions and try to make technology more mature and more useful for businesses. So I feel that we may be 1 year or 2 year away in terms of a high level business adoption. People are just will start taking it in the labs, in the innovation labs in the company. They started exploring it, taking it a bit of AR, VR, and metaverse and all. Not launching in public, but at least in the marketing campaign, in their small labs, in the small experiment, they are into this AR, VR right now.
Totally agree to that. Technology has grown, and yes, it is rightly said that we haven't adopted it to the fullest. But I would say, and I am sure that you all will also agree that the time will soon come when these will become a fundamental part of each and every life aspect.
Yeah,
Moving ahead to
definitely.
Kishan, my question to you, sir, is first of all, our audience is not so much aware of the terms like blockchain. Like they are from the AR/VR industry, but then again, when it comes to blockchain or a decentralized technology, their concept is not at all clear to them. So I would request you to first shed light on what actually it means in a layman's aspect and how is it how important it is for each one of us to understand what blockchain is and how can we integrate the technology in other aspects. Like if I talk blockchain for XR or blockchain for any other technology per se.
Yeah. I think blockchain is the idea of decentralization to the core. So the main idea is to do all the activity in more decentralized manner. Example, if you go to any game, okay, so you go to the Facebook game, so it is on by Facebook completely right now. We cannot, they can remove any components right away or next day. They can remove any part of the game next day. But when you have a decentralized work like a sandbox and all, Roblox and all, sandbox basically, that they are like more decentralized type. Community develop the content, they develop the games, they do their own. So there is no central power who can take any game away next day or any component next day and all. So it is more about community kind of owning, community management more than the central company, central person managing whole stuff and all. That is one approach. So all the activity, no matter is real estate, no matter is the gaming, no matter what, I mean all industry, healthcare and all, they would look like a more decentralized, more secure system and all. It should not be vulnerable to one person or one kind of core group of the company. It should be more decentralized sort of. That is the approach. So metaverse will grow no matter it can be decentralized or decentralized. Like metaverse, like a like sandbox, that is decentralized. But Facebook games are centralized. So some, I think metaverse will evolve no matter it can be blockchain based or it cannot. It may not be blockchain based. In both way, metaverse or AI will grow. It's all about what you prefer. You prefer to have community based kind of owning system, then you prefer to have a blockchain under the layer of technology and all. You can put everything under the blocks to make it more safe and all. Example, like you want to create one theme park example. Now you allow some people to make their own, a particular zone and make their own games, and they can take any audience to play there. So you create more decentralized system. You create give more control to the other guys to make their own stuff and make money also there. So it's all about more decentralized approach. So I think there's a debate in the market right now that eventually the everything in 3D world or metaverse world would be towards like centralization or decentralization and all. So I feel that both way will grow, but personally I feel that eventually community based approach, blockchain based approach will grow a lot. So that is the future. That's why everything you can see technology is growing right now towards the community. Example, Instagram is, earlier we used to have a Facebook and Instagram. Now we have a new group, now like a new group which is more community based. I forgot the name. The chatting happens on those groups nowadays. So those community based kind of chatting groups, those things are growing faster right now, especially in the next generations. Gen Z and the Alpha generations, they are adopting the community based approach mostly. They are not accepting any centralized system nowadays. So I think guys who are in early 20s and teenager and all, they try to adopt the community based technologies. So though, yeah.
That was quite an answer. I'm sure the audience now has a better idea on what the terms are and how are these crucial in times to come. The next question will be to Pankajji. My question will be to you on the same aspect. How important do you think, or how important do you think that XR is the need of the hour, and there is also a need to integrate tech such as blockchain within it. Because in terms of when we talk about XR, privacy is one of the major concerns, and maybe blockchain can play a crucial role in preventing this. So, what is your viewpoint on this?
Krishna, three questions in one. So I'll understand. First question is how important is XR? And the second one, I think, is the importance of blockchain and privacy. The third one is privacy. Okay. In terms of XR, I think we should not look at it as an XR or AR VR. We should look at it as computers, as they themselves have evolved from mainframes to desktops to laptops to mobile phone, which each one of us has here, and we're using these computers to do a lot of things. Computers have played a huge role, right from helping us land on the moon to solving COVID-related situations. Computers played a huge role. So this next devices are essentially computers under different terms. So as valuable computers are to the society, the same value the society will derive from this AR, VR, XR devices. So we at Asmulins usually look at them as computers, either holographic computers or spatial computers, and we call them AR, VR devices as well. So how important mobile phones or smartphones or computers are to the society, the same importance AR VR devices will play, because they themselves are computers but 3D computers. This is how we look at it. In terms of blockchain and other technologies, yes, that is where the society is advancing. More of these technologies will not just help the 2D computers but will help the 3D computers, as Naveen mentioned, on multiple use cases. In terms of privacy, yes, as we go into the 3D world of computers, privacy becomes more and more critical. That is something that each one of us, right, from the hardware manufacturer to the application development, each one of us has to make sure that the data is protected, the privacy is protected, specifically in this holographic or spatial computers, where you capture a lot more data of the physical world as compared to just 2D computers that we have. Uh, I think that's all from my end. It is very critical to make sure that privacy is really taken care of.
On it, totally on point. Moving ahead, Naveen ji, now I'll ask you, like, we had talked about XR, we had a conversation about blockchain, but one thing that we have missed is generative AI. It is something that is really a hot topic, and it is being used and integrated across every aspect of business operations. So, how do you think that the coming up of generative AI or having such a technology is helpful to businesses and is also causing a threat to maybe some of the jobs that exist in the market?
Okay. So good question. So generative AI has two aspects. One is regarding XR, or second is in general. Okay. So regarding XR, I can tell that generative AI can help us create 3D content very fast. So with the launch of Omniverse and the next thing by NVIDIA, now creating 3D content can be much easier right now. We can just use some text to create our 3D content. We enhance the features of the 3D world with this kind of technology and all. Generative AI can accelerate the 3D world creations, AR VR creations. It can really create personalized content as well in 3D eventually. So I can feel that XR can be accelerated with the help of generative AI. The way the phone used to have a photos, earlier in 1990s, we used to take the some camera to have photos. Eventually phone came, and then the phone took a lot of photos, so we can start creating billions of photos every week, on this planet. Now 3D world, still we are struggling. We need to hire 3D artists to make 3D content. Still in the world, I don't think we can create 1 million 3D item also every week. But with the generative AI, we create a lot of 3D content very fast in a highly personalized way also. So creating the personalized world, personalized offices, personalized home in 3D world can be easier with the help of generative AI. And NVIDIA is leading that campaign a lot. That is one thing. Okay, in general, generative AI helping because it can help us write the marketing campaign plan, write the content for Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. It can create the video also nowadays, create the image of your choice, just with help of some text and all. So now generative AI is accelerating things very fast right now. It will really kill some of jobs, maybe sales and marketing team and all. It can be reduced to half, because we don't need that much time right now to create those content for marketing and sales. So all the cold emails and all those kind of marketing campaign content and all can be generated through the generative AI right now. So those sales team and marketing team can be reduced, but they have to reskill towards new stuff. So I can see that when there one gate is closed, then another window opens. So we have to see through the opportunity right now. Is creating now opportunity. You can learn the new stuff. You can create now 3D content very fast with the help of Omniverse and new tools. So you can go towards blockchains, XR, battery management, cryogenics and all. So there are a lot of opportunity coming in right now. So job loss has to happen, that is for sure. But at the same time, I can see that there can be new opportunity for everyone. It's all about how much we are able to adopt the new technology and new world.
Definitely. Rightly said, and I would ask Pankaji to add more of this because I think the last line that Navinji mentioned that there might be areas where things can get replaced, but upskilling is the word that I would like to use here. Upskilling is what can help people grow better because technology is just a tool that we use. So if we can leverage this thing and use tech as our supplementary, so it might be better. So I would like you to add your thoughts on this.
I think very well said by Navinji in terms of both in XR how this generative AI is playing a huge role in creating content. And Navinji, I also second that we can't create millions of XR content on a weekly basis on the planet, but hopefully through generative AI we can do that. Uh, and in general, also you made a very well point that some team sizes will reduce, but on the other hand, uh, as Krishna also mentioned, if people are upskilling themselves to leverage this AI tools, more and more opportunities will come for them. I have seen within our teams as well, people have been using generative AI to either speed up their work and be able to do a lot more, which was not possible initially. Like, I'll give an example like some of our content team. Uh, First, they were writing the content, now they are helping using AI to create some of the content. But besides doing content, they because they are now available, they can pick up some other tasks. They can do something more for the value addition of the company. So the opportunities for them increase because they have the talent, they have the skill. If not for content, let's say some managing something else, a new opportunity comes in. So it's the people who are really hustlers who really want to leverage this technology can really grow. And in terms of your personal growth as well, generative AI can play a huge role. I think I've been experimenting with ChatGPT and others in terms of planning out my days, doing out a lot of other stuff, which has helped me really think through a lot of these things very clearly.
That's well said. A generative AI is definitely helping us reduce the time so that we can plan better and use the optimal as a power of what humans have. Moving forward, in the beginning of the session, we were talking about the adoption rate of this technology. As Naveenji mentioned, that tech has come, but it is just that we have the adoption is not as what it should be. So Naveenji, my question would be like, what do you think are the challenges or the factors that is hindering the adoption rate? Why is it that even despite knowing that this tech is a highly futuristic or effective, still what is stopping businesses per se to adopt this technology within their line of operations?
Yeah, very good question. I think it's all about behavioral change. So whenever there is a consumer behavioral change, it takes time. It's not smart. Like example, when we have a API development, that is so suppose the company which are working on the APIs and all, for them it's easy to
हाँ,
sell
मूवी
in the
नहीं देख
market.
रही.
But for XR guys, we have to convince people to use the
अर्जुन ने दिया.
devices. So this is a behavioral change. Rather than looking at a phone or laptop, you have to wear something and use it. This is a behavioral change. It takes more time than anything else. If you sell some SaaS product, you can sell very easily. But selling the XR ideas is difficult because of the behavioral change issue and all. It takes time to adopt new kind of wearables and all. That is one thing. Second thing, I think some company has to come up with a fund of EMI. This, some example, Reliance come tomorrow and say, someone comes tomorrow and say, I am going to sell the device at only EMI. Just pay 5,000 rupees and take it home. And they can be at least 3 4 games with a celebrity as well. So we need some kind of big campaign where we can offer the customers at a very low rate at 12-month EMI rate, and also with some kind of celebrity kind of campaigning for that. Like there can be 3 4 shows run by some celebrities, and come to the metaverse, come to this world and
हेलो
just enjoy, play with me and all. So there we need to have one
हेलो
strong
अच्छा
campaign
हो
and
गया
one
वो
strong kind of
ठीक है ठीक
financial plan to make it more popular in the market. That is missing, right? Oculus is launched, Oculus 2 is launched, then price went up double and all. The jerky movement in the device game. So I think somehow we need to have a financial plan as well, where consumer can start using it at a very low rate, okay, at EMI Honda and all. And also there must be some kind of celebrity involvement who can convince people to come and enjoy the experiences together. That is the thing. And then eventually once we start doing all these things, then we can really sell ideas of the education training, other kind of gaming, educations and all. We can add tourism as well. So we can keep adding those stuff. But one that jerk na, that one kind of step is missing right now. So I'm waiting for those particular moment, or period when the behavioral change really takes place.
Navinji, we should explore this together.
Yeah.
We take care of the hardware, you take care of the content.
Yes. 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 Definitely. Definitely.
Very valid point. The price getting the cost low is very critical
Yeah.
for the consumer use cases.
Yeah. True.
We at Taj Talents, we are trying to do that on a daily basis. How do we get the prices as low as possible?
Yes. Yes. We need to have a very strong planning for that. So
Correct.
I'll come up with some plan with you one day. Just wait. I'm
Yes.
just working on that
Yes.
idea.
Yes. Yes. We've partnered up with some EMI partners now for the Ajna Creator Program. We're trying to push them for the devices as well. So there are multiple financial partners who provide us EMIs for the Ajna Creator Program. We'll try to push them for our devices.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, Krishna. Sorry for jumping
yes.
in.
No worries. So I'll just carry forward this conversation. It is for sure that the prices are high for any XR headset. We can talk about any company that has come up with. Let's say there are only 5 companies with an XR hardware, but and everyone has a very high prices. But what I want to understand, or I would want Papaji to shed light is to explain why at all the prices high, and on what aspects can we think upon. We'll definitely work out on making it affordable for everyone. But as of now, when XR is at a naive stage, then for the audience per se, it is very important to understand that why at all the price is so high for any hardware.
Got it. Uh, yeah, think about it as like the early days of smartphones, right? I remember my grandfather's friend. He came home with those early big thing. It was coming out. They were 1 lakh rupees back then, right? It was very expensive. Yeah. He was the only guy in the entire town who had it. People used to go visit him just to see that. Very expensive if you look at the cost. It will be around 6 odd lakhs if you think about it in today's time. Is one, the technology and the components around it are not mass manufactured. There are two aspects. In virtual reality, the virtual reality headsets could be priced down very well. Um, the company that is manufacturing these devices, if they can procure all the raw components at large scale, which is companies such as Meta or Facebook, which has deep pockets, can procure components at large scale, they can reduce the prices of their devices very rapidly. But within the VR, but within the pass-through AR, like mixed reality devices like Asna X or Asna XR Pro, the cost of the optics, the cost of the displays are much higher than what the Oculus devices cost are, right? So that becomes a huge challenge. Plus, at a company of our scale, we can't procure at a larger quantities for raw material. That becomes another challenge. So we have to procure at smaller quantities, although they are few thousands, but still it becomes a bigger challenge for us. And that's why the cost of the devices become expensive. Displays very expensive, optics very expensive, chipsets very expensive, because they are not mass produced by all of these companies at a larger scale. As I think we progress, although if you look at our devices, when we were working with defense, each device was around 15 to 20 lakhs. Then we slowly got into earlier enterprises wherein we sold our devices at 5 lakh, 6 lakh rupees per headset, right? That was the expensive. And slowly now it's coming at around 80, 85,000, which although is on a higher side, but we're trying to reduce it even further. But if you look at this pass-through device, Asna XR or Asna XR Pro, as compared to other pass-through AR devices, I think we've been able to get the price sufficiently lower than what is available in the market.
Nice.
That was well explained, and definitely the prices will go down soon once we see a higher adoption level. Moving to Naveen ji, we have seen a lot, like I've seen a lot of people creating content on metaverse for various aspects. We have a metaverse for retail, we have a metaverse for real estate, for entertainment, and you have a diverse background in creating such environments. So, according to you, which industry is rapidly adopting this technology and why?
I think gaming industry, I think is the first one. Like if they can be the first lead guy, and then we have a training, like a training for industrial purpose and all. So and eventually the fashion also will come up, you know. So I feel personally gaming can be the first one, industrial training, and followed by retail sector, you know. So those things can leverage this 3D AR VR faster than other guys, you know? So and eventually everything will come up, like no one will be behind, you know. Even when we want to have a digital tune of the factory and all. So but these three can be the hot area. Okay, you can assume that. And education can be very fast, grow very fast eventually. Right now, for a student, it is costly, but eventually, once the price goes down, and once we start using in the lab in schools, I think education can be also the big kind of area for the adoption of XR. But gaming can be the first one in short.
Gaming for now even is a huge market, I believe, and
Yeah,
training is one area where we are seeing a rapid adoption thanks to
yeah,
all the policies and the reforms created by the government as well.
yeah. True, true. Yeah.
On the same line, Pankaj, how do you think which industry is going to be most affected by this, and where is the dire need to have AR, VR as the solution to be replaced?
I think learning and development is a place where most use case will be. It includes the education aspect, and why there is a dire need here, because all of us are addicted to reels. All of us are spending so much time on these social media platforms. What is happening is our attention span is drastically reducing. Uh, because we are so used to all these dopamine hits which are coming in very quickly, so that's why we spend time and we don't understand that we spend so much time. uh, then learning through traditional mediums becomes boring. So recently I was at one of these companies and I was talking to the head of their HR and head of their training. It's a fairly large company, 10,000 plus people working there. And one of the biggest challenge has become is now even their audio video presentations, which they thought were interesting, is becoming boring for people, because majority of these people yawn and start getting disengaged while they are being trained, because all of their minds are changing, because majority of them spend time on social media wherein we're used to all these nice things happening after every couple of videos, which gives us dopamine hit. A lot of us are used to playing games such as PUBG or other things, which are also immediate dopamine hits, which give us something which is very static and there's not a lot of interesting things coming in. Our brains seems to disengage very quickly, and that becomes a challenge. So our focus or attention span drastically reduces. That is wherein AR and VR, when you are immersed and then you are engaged and it's gamified, it is working better. That's why the company was also looking for AR and VR as an alternative solution for training. One is it's immersive. It takes up a lot of your brain, your visual clues, and makes it engaging for you to learn. So some implementation we did with Vedanta, which is one of the largest group in mining. They saw that retention and attention span of the individuals who are learning on our AR VR simulators become higher as compared to, is much higher, more than 60-70% higher as compared to their traditional training, which was audio visual training, because people were more engaged. It was more like a gamified experience. You're getting points, you're winning while also learning the entire skill. So I think this is where the learning and development, where there is a dire need, as our human brains are changing.
Well, I also agree on the same point, and I'm sure Naveen you will also.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
When you yes,
Yeah, yeah. Gaming and gamification are same thing. Yes, yes. We have to make everything gamified now, because no matter it's training, it's a skill development or education, because people want dopamine. They want to have fun every time. They want to be engaged. So that is new generation. Gen Z is like this only. Yeah. Yeah. Please continue.
Even I think Navinji, our generation as well.
Yeah.
okay. So we have had a lot of conversation around the technology and maybe the company point of view, but now let's see the other side of the coin, which are the developers. So we have talked about these tech are booming and have creating their space in the industry. But how ready are we to create such kind of experience? Do we have enough developers or enough creators? We have seen a lot of startups coming up in this space, but when it comes to individual developers, like how ready do you think the user base is or the creator base is to come up with to keep nurturing or building the tech so that we can grow this? Because until and unless we build, we cannot talk about adoption.
I think in last 2 years, at least 1.5 years, I saw a lot of guys who started teaching the guy. Sorry. So in last 2 years, I saw many people have come up and start teaching the AR/VR courses. So in last 2 years, we have got a lot of developers right now, AR/VR and all. So compared to 3 years back and 2 years back, now we have enough developers. I can feel there can be a 2,000 plus developers in India who knows good in AR/VR development and all. But I don't think there is enough opportunity right now for them. They don't have much business to develop on, so they are skilled enough, but they need to have opportunity to build something. So device could not be sold enough, then company did not use enough AR/VR app, so they don't get a chance to develop the new kind of app. So right now we have enough developers, but still business is not in that need of developing the AR/VR app. So we are much better compared to 2 years back in terms of the
Navinji,
AR/VR adoption.
we are facing the exact opposite situation. Now
Okay.
that's why we are trying to do is we are now trying to outsource our content, because one, hiring has become again a bit of a challenge. Getting good, see, there could be developers, the good developers who have understanding, knows right from 3D model creation to experience creation is becoming a challenge for us.
So
So
we
that's
can
why
be
we
good
are doing a
partner.
lot of outsourcing. We do a lot of
Yeah,
outsourcing.
we can be good partner. Then we have been
Ji,
doing the
ji,
same stuff.
definitely. Ji,
Yeah,
correct,
then
correct, correct. And today only I was reading through some statistics. I'll share that with you as well. While AI is taking over quite a lot of jobs, so this was in some of the news articles. The industry that is creating most jobs is the XR and immersive tech. It's
yes,
like
yes,
an opposite. There's so much hype about AI.
Yeah.
But AI is having a negative impact. A lot of people at the AI is taking quite a lot of jobs, while XR is creating quite a lot more jobs. It's an interesting. I'll share that as well.
Ah, yes, totally agree. Totally agree. We need to have, we can have more jobs in XR, but I think
Correct.
the adoptions is yet to be more. Then we can
Very
have
true.
more. Yeah,
Correct. What I've seen larger companies such as Walmart or Accenture, they have deployed it at larger scale, 50,000 devices, 80,000 devices.
yeah,
Indian large companies also picking up. They've done their pilot phases. Now they are in large scale deployments. I think, as you mentioned, in the next 1 to 2 years, I definitely agree it will become large scale deployments within Indian enterprises as well.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
That was well said. Even I was about to say that there are many more jobs. It is just, I think it is all about the quality we have to think upon when we deliver those metaphors, like be it metaphors or XR. It is all about the experiences or the immersiveness that we have. So just we'll take one question and then we'll move on to the questions from the audience. And again, it will be to Pankaj. So we have talked about the adoption and even we have talked about the developers, the challenges that we have faced. But then I'll just ask the same question to you, like how important do you think is, where do we stand in terms of developers? Like he mentioned, we have more than 2,000 plus developers, but then still there is something that is not right because of which we are not. Is it that the developers are not getting the right opportunity to build, or is it the lack of information that stands and creates a gap between the demand and the supply of the industry?
I think there are various aspects at play here. One thing, as Navinji mentioned, is as more and more people are getting aware about this, more and more POCs are happening currently within enterprises. That is when a lot more opportunities are coming. Even recently, we were talking to a Pune-based. It's a small and medium enterprise. It's doing a couple of crores per year. You'd not even think that they will look at AR or VR for training, but it was very fascinating for us to see that even a family-run business is looking at AR and VR as a solution to train their first line workers, which is very interesting to see that yes, they are open towards. Although they will start small, I can understand with one or two headsets. But if this makes sense, then you understand India is such a big uh, market for the small and medium enterprise. India is heavily loaded with this. If you are able to crack that, there will be a huge demand which will come up easily. The challenge is there is if we have more content developers in the market, the content and quality content can be created, which is required on this device to make the training effective. So that is one. Second is the initial pilots that majority of us or majority of us as companies have done were not very much up to the mark because the devices themselves were evolving, the SDKs were evolving, everything was evolving. They might not have shown the complete ROI to enterprises initially bit of it. But now everyone has got that clarity about what the ROI is, or how the impact is, whether it's saving the bottom line, it is reducing their time, cost, energy, money for the industries. That is happening. So the moving from POCs to large scale implementation for large companies is becoming easier and faster. So more developers coming in, more clarity coming in. Technology ही नया है, the entire field is so new in terms of adoption rate. Uh, the more clarity and more movement starts happening, the demand will drastically come up again. Although there is high, it will increase more.
Yeah, I know many guys also who have learned the 3D modeling or AR VR app development and all, but due to the job opportunity, not enough for them. They change also the skill. They start learning the new kind of development of the web development and all. So they start
Correct.
reskilling
So
themselves.
that is where I think complete understanding, not just 3D modeling, but complete AR VR understanding is critical. Naveen, I'll share. We have started a new platform called Talent Platform, where we are. It is only for XR. So we are trying to get all the companies within the XR that are looking to hire to their opening, place their openings here. Just say if you go on find any job sites, you'll get all kinds of jobs, right? But someone who is interested, passionate about XR, this is become his go-to site When all the companies who are looking to hire for XR, they'll place jobs. We've got about 68 companies on board so far.
Okay, nice, nice. I'll look at
Yes,
that.
yes,
Wonderful explanation, and I think the audience might also agree. So now we'll take a couple of questions from the chat box. The first question is from Gaurav Roy. He's asking, where can we use blockchain and smart contracts, and in which areas of metaverse experience specifically? So Naveenji, I would like you to answer this question.
Suppose you have a now gaming system in metaverse. Okay, now any artist can come and put their own weapons or any kind of chair table are also there. Now anyone can use it. So example, uh, Voix we launch one gaming metaverse right now. Now we allow any artist to come there and sell their weapons, sell their shoes or clothes or hats, and audience can buy it. So we allow the smart contract to take care of all those needs. So automatically, there can be a buyer and supplier. Artists can supply, and the gamers can be as a buyer of those items. So we support uh, both guys, buyers and suppliers of those like clothes, those weapons and all. So this can be a good use of the blockchain or smart contract in the metaverse. In the same manner, suppose we offer the training centers, so there can be a niche area also. Eventually, we can allow any 3D content guys to put their own kind of CNC machine, or some kind of machine for demo and all, or any factory guy can buy it directly from there. So it's sort of marketplace also and a metaverse also. Okay, so in short, we allow everyone to make money and use the things, sort of. That is use
Thank
of
you,
the
Naveenji.
yeah, metaverse. Yes.
We have a follow-up question. Are there any blockchain-based platforms that can be used in the metaverse right now?
Yeah, the sandbox is a platform which use the Ethereum blockchain. So sandbox allow people to put their items. So 3D artists can go there and just put their 3D clothes or 3D shoes or 3D weapons, and gamers can buy it or use it.
Thank you so much. I'm sure, Gaurav, your questions have been answered. In case anyone has any question to be asked to the panel, please put it in the chat box. We'll spend another 3 to 4 minutes for the same. Okay, we have a question from Nityan. How can individuals and businesses start exploring the benefits from these technologies? Are there any recommended resources, platforms, or tools that they should consider? So, Pankaj, I would like you to take this question.
Gee, how can individuals and businesses start exploring benefits from this technology? Uh, Two ways. As a companies, I'll talk from companies aspect and then from individuals. So first from business aspect. What businesses are currently doing are they are doing proof of concepts, which are POCs, wherein they find out a problem statement. Let's say I have a training which is very expensive for me because it requires a lot of resources. It requires me to keep the electricity on for a long time. It requires me to purchase various materials which are consumables which we use for the training, and then they are destroyed after the training. So businesses do proof of concept for that and see how much the impact on business is. For example, one enterprise we are working with, we are able to reduce 95% of their training costs because they don't require consumables. They go into virtual reality, they learn that without using consumables in virtual paint, or virtual paint is used, virtual consumables is used, and they still are able to become an expert. So companies do these small POCs over a 3 to 6 months. They understand, okay, this is impactful, this is helping my business. Then they start adding in more and more training into it. So one example is we did it for spray painting training, wherein you require a lot of actual spray paint. to train. So in virtual reality, how it is trained is you have an actual spray painting. So this is digital, which is connected to a virtual reality headset, and you press the gun and then you're learning. So what is happening is you're getting the muscle memory, you're getting the hand dexterity, but the paint is coming digitally. So that is where the costs are saved. For individuals, uh, how can they benefit from these technologies? Currently, not as a consumers, they cannot benefit because it is not reached mass. One way you can benefit as a individual or as a consumer is by using them for gaming. So you buy these devices and you do gaming. So that's a short term benefit. But as a consumer, but as an individual who is a creator, you can create, you can benefit by becoming the early influencers of these technologies, wherein you build your personal brand as an influencer within this technology. Or second is also creating this first generation of applications which become very popular, as Naveen ji was also mentioning. We require one or two or three of these early examples, such as let's say a PUBG in virtual reality wherein many players can come. It is that first individuals or businesses that create these breakthrough applications can really monetize it really well, because the industry desperately requires one or two or three of these applications which is mass adopted. A lot of companies are looking for it. So people like you, me, all of us think, okay, we need to buy a AR VR device because this is the application that I want to try. Let's say I want to play PUBG in 3D, right? So that demand creation why require that application. Are there any recommended resources, platforms, or tools they should consider? First, I would recommend Ajna Creator Program, but you can go on to multiple platforms such as YouTube as well, wherein you get a lot of resources, questions, and answers. What we have tried to do at Asna Creator Program is try to structure it, put it into a place, giving you industry resources, industry tools, and what we know, because we've been working in the industry for the 9+ years, working with defense, Indian Army, Navy, DRDO, enterprises, and even governments. What is required in the industry, that is taught. I hope then that helps answer your question as well.
Yes. So that was quite answered. Uh, Again, there is a follow-up question regarding cryptos and NFTs. There are concerns about sustainability and energy consumption, especially in the context of proof of work blockchains. What innovations or alternatives do you foresee that could address these challenges while maintaining the benefits of a decentralized ownership?
Okay, nice question. Yeah, I think proof of work is the old concept nowadays. Proof of state comes up, Also, zero of knowledge proof also has come up right now. So that makes blockchain scalable. Now you can have a very low cost transactions with the same security, you know, without compromising the security, levels. We are able to create 10,000 transactions, now per second. They are not possible in the proof of work culture. So technology has changed. I guess the question is relevant, but I think in last 2 3 years, proof of state is has become more common than the proof of work. This POW is famous for the blockchain thing, for the Bitcoin thing, but in the Ethereum and the all this Solana and all these new things come up, Polygon and all, people start using proof of state. So there are many things which is come out, proof of agent, proof of state and all. They are much cheaper in terms of energy consumptions. They are 1,000 by the way. So we already have solved the problem. Now we are 1,000 times better than this technology which you mentioned right now. It's all about now company are trying to use the blockchain. So Polygon has started the campaign. They want to involve a lot of companies to bring them on board on their meta on this Polygon and all. So they are creating the very low cost transactions models with the same level of security and all. With the zero knowledge proof also, they have launched very powerful blockchain right now. Eventually, I can feel that energy problem is solved to large extent right now. It's all about convincing companies to come on board either task. So in next 2 3 years, I think I feel mostly all company will be on blockchain.
Very interesting. And new for me as well. New every day there's a new learning. I
Yeah.
recall it's very easy in the software space to reduce the price and increase efficiency, because I recall my father used to talk about solar panels many years back, but their cost to efficiency was so bad that the installation was not feasible. But it took, because it was hardware, it took many years to evolve and come to that right efficiency. And if with blockchain we can quickly achieve that, nothing like it. And because it being software, I think it theoretically makes sense that the efficiency can be improved rapidly as compared to a hardware thing.
True. 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 Can AI be used in
I
trading
have a
of?
question. Yeah. Can AI be used in trading of NFTs or cryptos? And how can metaverse play a role in the procedure?
Okay.
Navinji, please take it.
Yes. Yes. Yes, AI can be used definitely. So there is a pattern. Okay, so if you talk about any good, like cryptos like XRP and all, so you can see the trend and link with the events and all those kind of happening in the world. And then I think AI can be used to predict the graph in coming, days and coming weeks and all. So people use AI also nowadays in the crypto trading, especially in the good ones like XRP and all. They are like good ones. They are more stable and all, Coinbase things and all. So I think people are using AI, at least in US, in Dubai and all. I know people are using AI also. That is there, but you have to join the group, by the way, who knows those stuff. And how can metaverse play the role in this procedure? Metaverse, see, AI is a layer of intelligence. You can use intelligence, AI intelligence to improve your trading of cryptos. Okay, that's okay. But metaverse is all about experiences. Metaverse will not help you in trading of anything. Metaverse helps you enjoy the stuff. Like you can go to the art, artistic place, and you enjoy it, and then you can buy some painting. That's okay. So metaverse only help us enjoy more, help us in onboarding customers. Customer will not go to the website and just scroll like this way in art content and all, but they would love to go to metaverse and experience while walking left, right, and straight and all. They can enjoy the metaverse experiences. So metaverse only can help in the experiences, not in the intelligence part. How will metaverse impact our lives most? I think a lot. I personally feel that we should leave. Eventually, many guys will live in nice areas in the world while working for office. Like you can live in Maldives, okay, and start working at 9 p.m. with a device directly. This is life I can see for myself and for my team also. Eventually we can have this kind of things. We can meet once in a month, sort of, in one place, but mostly you can stay at some place and just at 9 o'clock just have the device and join your colleagues office and all, and work there. And then so you can be always you can really enjoy your life as a colleague, as a friend in metaverse. You can go to the museums, you can go to the nice tourist point, you can go to the your school lab, you can go to some kind of thing which happened 200 300 years ago. So you can have a many lives in metaverse. I can go to like 600 BC also and enjoy how the life would be, how the system was there, how the buildings was there, how teaching was there and all. So we can have many lives in the metaverse. We can really enjoy those things. We can work from anywhere. Yeah, that is the thing. So I can see it can affect very positively. And negatively, like I don't see much, because your phone can create addictions. So the same way you can also have addiction with the device also, but that is a negative, but based on your addiction pattern. If you are okay with your control, so it has all a good effect.
Navinji, I have a follow-up question. What is your HR email address? आपने मालदीव्स का बता के सबको एक्साइट किया होगा.
Yes. Yes. My email ID, कोई बात नहीं, you can just this is the email ID. Okay.
नहीं, HR वाला दे दो आप. HR, so people who are interested to apply, they can send you CVs. Maldives fix है ना पर?
Yeah. I need to have a nice place like Maldives or some nice place in the world, and stay there. You know.
Gee. Guys, you all can reach out to WowXP on the email that is reached out. Please make sure you send your CVs and the work you've done.
Wonderful. That was a great session. We had a great time. And I would like to end the session with a vote of thanks to both our panelists. Thank you so much for coming up to the session and sharing all your experiences and insights with me
Yeah.
as well as the audience. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you
much.
so much. I love talking to you guys. Like Pankaj was excellent. Like nice to listen his views on all this stuff. And Krishna, you manage very well the whole discussion. Thank you so much. And audience for nice questions and listening to us.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ravinji. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you, Krishna, for
Yeah,
hosting us. And audience, namaskaram. I hope you had a great time. Take care. Bye bye.
yeah.